Good evening, family and friends, YouTube, Facebook. Good evening. Hope, I pray that you are all having a blessed evening. I'm eating fried chicken and rice and peas and fried chicken because I was on the road today with Minister Campbell. He left his food in the car. For some strange reason, somebody called me and I came outside in the car to talk to the person, and I realized that he left his food. That was long after. So, I'm diving in. Yep. So today I just want to talk to you guys on, by the way, I am up by Devon House. Because Devon House, I've been coming over here from the other day for a good while now. I don't know why, but it's like every time I think to do a video, this is where the Spirit leads me. Devon House, I think it is quiet, even though it's getting a bit busy because the chairs are down now and there are persons sitting around and so forth. But anyways, this is where the Spirit has been leading me from the other day to come. So I want to talk to you guys about my life, the continuance of my life. I've been sharing over a couple of weeks now about my life, about stuff that I've been through, and me wanting to find my purpose and the reason why I went through the things that I've been through now. I used to go to a school in 2018 to 2019. I went to school to do foods, and I remember I was sharing it earlier on with somebody. I remember one day while I was at school, and one of my teachers, she was there too, and along with some other girls that is a part of my classroom. And I remember the day that we were there just talking, and the Lord said to me, open up to them about your story. And I didn't hesitate. I started opening up. I started to tell them about my life, about the things that I have been through, how I was molested, who I was molested by, all of that. And while I was there talking, I found that the other girls that were there, they started opening up about their life too and the things that they have been through. And even my teacher started to open up as well. And trust me, that they proved to me that, hey, I needed to take this path. The Lord was leading me down this pathway. And so, we were there sharing each other's experiences and what we have been through. And so, one girl in particular, I remember when I just started this school, and if she watched this video, she will remember. I remember when we just started out, and both of us were in the same group, and for some strange reason we could not agree because she had this temper. I had a temper myself, but hers was more than mine, and so we couldn't agree. We were always at it, especially when it comes on to practical and doing stuff. We were always at it. We were always disagreeing, and I could not understand. And trust me, her behavior at one point, it grieved me. But at the end of the day, what happened was that even though we disagree, we always come back around to an agreement, and we always end up do our work, do or whatever task is placed before us, and the job was always well done. So amidst the fact that we could not agree, we disagreed to agree. And so I it was after while we were there, we were sharing each other's experience and the things that we have been through. Sorry, I realized that one of the thing that causes us to disagree is that the spirit in me and the spirit in her identified each other. But the fact that we even identified each other, the spirit identified each other, we did not came into the realization as to what it was. And it was that day that we were at school and we were sharing each other's experience, talking about what had happened that day when she opened up and she spoke about, her it wasn't even a case of being molested. She spoke about being raped 5 times. And I think she was saying that even the child that she had was as a result of rape. And there and then, because I remember she go as far as to say that at one point after she got married, because she got married, she's a Christian also, and but at one point after she got married, she said she started to react a certain way in her marriage. And this is one of the things I identified, that going through rape, molestation, abuse, whatever, all of these things, they tend to leave an effect and an impact on you negatively. And so she said, one day her husband said to her, "No man, we have to get to the bottom of this, because you have to tell me what go on, because what had happened is that it gotten so bad that her husband was feeling the effect of what was happening." He was saying to her, she said he said to her that, "You need to talk to me, we need to sit down, we need to talk about this, because there is something more than what is happening here." And she said it nearly cost her marriage, and it so happens that they spoke about it. She shared it with him, and she said it was after that they become more together, they become more loving as a couple, more understanding, because then now by this time he was understanding where she was coming from. So that is one of the effects I realize that this thing has on person, different ones, and mostly women though. Mostly women, as I said, with men, it tend to leave them at a place of they want to venture off. Most of the time they want to venture off in becoming homosexuals. Men tend to want to be homosexual, and so because listen, this is what happened, when at a very young age, because for me it was like at age 7, and maybe earlier than that, because I remember when I lived with my mom, at one point there was this man who tried to rape me, and it was brought to my mother's attention and others, because where we were living, it was a yard with different houses. And so when it had happened, the night when he came to rape me, it was one of my mother's friend that came and find him just in time. I think I was smaller than that. I was maybe about 5, and she came in just in time to see him drawing down my panties and was about to have sex with me. And me being so innocent and don't even know what happened, me know say I think at the time I realized that this thing wasn't right, but I was defenseless. I was not in a position to fend off this man, to say that I could defend myself. And so when my mother friend came in at the time, she came in just in time to see him take down my panties, and he was about to get intimate with me. And so you can picture this in your mind. At the age of 5, a big man or a bigger older person than you imposing on your sex life, like imposing on your innocency, because you're innocent, you don't know about these things, and then it has been brought. So it does something to your mind, it does something to your body, that after a time it starts to stimulate your body. Your body starts to react as a result of what was happened, what was being done to you in your earlier age. And so that's why you find that a lot of men become homosexuals, some of them become bisexuals. Women on the other hand, a lot of them become lesbians, a lot of them become bisexual, just to them, a lot of them become sexual permissive. You know, the sex is the order of the day for them, because you have some women who can't be satisfied, they just want to have sex, and you know, they are attracted to any and everybody, and trust me, it is a lot. And so after she started to speak to me about what had happened to her, this is when I realized that, hey, you know, this was a thing that was, you know, was tossing between me and her, because I have been through a situation. And so it makes you even become defense, you know, you try to defend yourself in every case, even when you don't have a need to. And so it's like it bring out a side of ignorance to you. You know, you don't know how to love. It doesn't give you that peace. You don't feel free. You don't feel like you can trust persons. Trust me, it does a lot. And I can't stress enough on this topic, because I know that there is a lot of hurting women out there. There are a lot of women who are living with this thing even before marriage and after marriage. You find a lot of I could almost guess that a lot of the divorces that are taking place even now, a lot of them, most of the women in those marriages have been molested, have been raped, have been abused, both physically, verbally. Trust me. And I'm doing my research. Believe you me, I'm doing my research. And so I know that God has me on a path. And I am relentless in carrying out this vision, because it has you in a place of captiveness. It captivates your mind, you know. As I said before, I didn't know myself. I think of myself less than. I struggle with rejection. I struggle with self-worth. I didn't know my value. I entered into relationships unworthy, and unhealthy relationship, being abused in the relationship, and not knowing, say, hey, this is not what love is. This is not what love is about. And so, you know, while I was there, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about the whole, you know, I was thinking about the entire situation. I was thinking about where this all started from. And after I had that conversation in the classroom today, I remember I went home, and the Lord said, I have to look back for that book. And the Lord started to speak to me, and I started to write, you know, the story about my life. I started to write it. I didn't finish it, but I'm going to look back for that book, and I'm going to finish it. So, you know, I decided to do this video to say that, you know, there is a life after molestation, there is life after rape, there's a future, and you who have been the victim, you can help someone else. And so I do these videos to encourage women. I do these videos to encourage those who have been down that path and don't know how to to deal with it, and they are not confronting that thing. They are not dealing with that situation that has held them captive for so many years. And so I believe that I am one of the voices. I am one of the many women who have been through this situation, who is gonna bring about a change and a voice for women in general. Women, men, boy, girl, right across the board, but mostly women. But I target everybody. Reason being, because I know that yes, there are men out there. And guys, I will be having an interesting guest speaker one of these days during this video. I pray that those who are already logged on to my YouTube channel, please go over there, Righteous King, subscribe, like, share, leave a comment. And I pray that when I release that video, that someone out there will be, alert and ready to embrace what it is that God is saying, embrace what it is that God is doing in your life in this season. I have like 1 minute. All right, so love you guys until next time. I'll keep you posted, I'll keep you updated. Remember, go over, like, share, subscribe, comment. Mwah.